Whoa. Alright folks, I'm just going to go into a little bit of extra detail about the race in case you are considering putting it on your list for next year. The event is run by Cragrunner. I've done quite a few of their events before and I do volunteer at some of their stuff, so I'm a little bit biased towards them. Full disclosure. Having said that, I wouldn't enter their events or help out with their events if I didn't really like them as a company. The race costs about £14 to enter if you're an FRA member and is just under 22 kilometers with around 480 meters of elevation gain. I think that makes it pretty good value for money. It is listed as a fell race, but I'd say it is more of a trail race. As you saw in the video, there are sections of the route that are pretty gross and sloppy, so that might be enough to tick the boxes for a hardened fell runner if you want a bit of disgusting wintry bog. But be aware, it is overall a very runnable route, a very fast route, so if you are looking to just throw down a quick time on the hills, then this is probably a good route for that. For some reference, I did this at roughly a similar place to what I just normally do my kind of like fairly casual Sunday long runs, and normally if I'm doing a Winterfell race I am going to find myself typically slowed down quite a lot by just the terrain, and I feel like the terrain didn't really slow me down that much. So yeah, if you're after just a really fast red line effort, then this is a good race for that. The overall organisation of the event is pretty smooth. The pub that they use for the start of the race isn't massive, so it's quite crowded to kind of like get your kit sorted out and get your numbers and stuff at the start. There is going to be a queue for the toilets. It is a pub in a small village in a valley. So there's really only so much you can do with that, and it is a relatively popular race for the type of race it is and the size. So yeah, just be prepared for a toilet queue and a little bit of chaos in the pub when you're getting your number and your kit checked. I'd also say if you're the sort of person who gets really anxious about parking, then you'd either want to turn up fairly early or maybe give this one a miss. Again, because of where the race is, there just isn't really that much parking. So all the parking is up on the main road. They do specifically request that runners do not park in the pub car park and that you be really, really mindful of where you park on the main road. There were a few people this year who went and parked on the side of the road near where there are some double white lines in the middle of the road, and you're not supposed to park there. So I think in future events they're probably gonna just make it so people literally can't park in those places. Again, the same with any fell race in a small village. Just really be sensible about where you're parking when you go to these things. The prizes for the top 3 male and female runners and the category winners are all pretty solid. Like the top 3 get really nice trophy things and they get to pick something from a pile of prizes, and then all the category winners get to pick something from a pile of prizes, which is a format I quite like. It is a little bit frustrating when the default prize is always alcohol because not everyone drinks. So it's nice to just kind of have a pile of stuff people can pick from if they've won their category. Very friendly event. There were marshals out at various points on the route. And generally, actually, I'd say this is a pretty solid option if you are a bit newer to trail or fell running, because the navigation for this one isn't very difficult at all. And the route, while it has some gross bits, is generally pretty runnable. I'd say it's a pretty solid option if you're trying to dip your toe into longer events that are going up onto the hills. All right, that's all I've got to say about this one. I will stop rambling and let you get on with your day. There will be another video coming out this week just covering a bit of a channel update, so keep an eye out for that. But otherwise, I'll see you in the next one.